Hey everybody, Sam here.
And Angela, and welcome to our channel.
Welcome to a video where we tell you that our plans have changed.
Yet again.
So for those who may not know, tell them what was the plan that we have now changed.
Well, we were going to use our greenhouse as a temporary workshop, but we had some hurdles. What were those hurdles?
The hurdles ended up being mainly from the logistical standpoint. We were trying to figure out how we could feasibly and realistically take this apart and move it across state lines, given the vehicles and equipment we have, being a minivan, a Jeep, and a 5x8 utility trailer. That was one hurdle. The other hurdle was basically this is not the same size as what workshop I would love to have in an ideal situation, and that even though if we took all of this apart and took it over to our property, we still have got like 80% of a building that we have to build and buy anyway. To convert the greenhouse into a workshop, I would still have to do a foundation, floor framing, floor covering. Then we'd have to do all of the siding, as well as sheathe and put official roofing on top of this thing. Given the amount of work that would be needed, it didn't seem like it was smart to put all of that money and effort into this when we have a new plan. What is that new plan?
We are going to build one from scratch. That way we can get the size we need and build it to our his specifications
like
for
how you
his workshop.
Include yourself. It's all right. You can hang out.
It's ours.
I like you hanging out in the workshop.
You can hang out in the soap shack.
Yeah.
So that way we can get exactly what we want instead of making do and just saving a couple $100, maybe doing this, but then having to redo a whole nother one in the future.
Right. Or being stuck with something that really didn't work very well or that I really wasn't that happy with. So, yeah. While a couple $100 is nothing to sneeze at, we're not saying that is, chump change. In the grand scheme of a workshop and a home for my other YouTube channel called Samcraft, it was worthwhile to do the smart thing and not compromise and kind of be stuck in a small little situation.
Right. So I will give you the pleasure of jabbering on about your new workshop.
All right. If you want to tune me out, you can skip ahead below. So the new workshop that we're going to build is a 12 by 20 size, and I don't know, some people that's huge, some people that's way too tiny. For us and for our uses, I think it's going to be a perfect size and dimension. When I describe my workshop to people, I guess, mainly just you because nobody else is really listening to me, I say that it is shed inspired. What I mean by that is I'm going to build it on 4x4 skids and make it with the possibility of it being portable in the future. I consider my current workshop, the one down there at the hill that you guys can't see that cannot move, as a very good example and thing I need to learn from as far as not locking myself into something that we can't use again later, we can't move, and we kind of just lose in the end. So from that standpoint, it will be shed inspired, but it's not going to be built, I don't want to say substandard construction, but it's going to be built better than a plop and drop storage shed that you would normally find. Your soap shed is built very, very well. So I don't even consider your soap shed a part of that realm of plop and drops. Yeah. But it's going to be an easy build. It's going to be a budget build. It's not a giant dream shop of like 30 feet by 40 feet. It's not going to be elaborate and super fancy, but for us, it will be our version of elaborate and super fancy. So we're excited.
So how many workshops have you had now?
Well, over the course of our marriage of almost 18 years, I have had 6. And I've built an extra one that was just storage building for Mom. So
True.
This will be my 7th building of a workshop. So over the years, I guess you could say I've had practice in, I don't know, the sizes that work. Although honestly, every other workshop has just been what we could do, what worked, what fit. So, I mean, in a way, this is similar. But I'm happy regardless.
But more, you like rectangle versus square.
Yes.
So you
that's
don't
what
have
you
empty
mean.
space.
Yeah, my current workshop space is a square. I hate it. As far as workshops, rectangles are best. So, yes, you're right. I have had enough time to learn as far as what I do in a workshop, what kind of tools I need or don't need, and yeah, this will be appropriate. Did I answer that right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're putting me on the spot. All right, I give you the gift of gab card back because, man, those people probably regret you giving it to me. So share with everybody, what is the fate of the greenhouse? If it's not going to be my workshop, what's going to happen to it?
We're actually not totally sure yet. Some of the thoughts that we've kind of thrown around have been to salvage it, to just take it apart and use the pieces of it when we move to our new homestead.
So just break it down into raw material again?
Right.
Okay.
Or we can offer it for sale. So if anybody that's close to us or anything that would want to buy it and come and disassemble it, then let us know.
Yeah, I think it was, I forget who it was. I'll give you the credit. Had the idea of, well, why not just offer it up locally, like Facebook Marketplace, some pictures of it and see if somebody wants it and they want to put the labor into it and get a pretty sweet greenhouse and they do the labor for us. So I kind of like that idea, I think, most, because it'll allow the greenhouse to still become a greenhouse someday.
Right.
Even though we don't have plans to do that ourselves, it would allow someone else to benefit.
Because the fabric, or whatever you want to call it, the plastic that's on the outside, is still 100% good.
Yeah.
It's still absolutely fine. There's not been any problems with it deteriorating in the sunlight.
No,
so.
it's really good stuff. Of course, it is professional greenhouse plastic as well. In addition to those points, the fact that if we sold it to somebody and they came out and did all the labor taking it apart, it's one big thing less that we got to take care of before we move.
Right.
We're running into, I mean, really the great problem of we're pretty much waiting on ourselves now. We're waiting for the workshop to get built, waiting for this, that, and the other. And if we can reduce the number of things on our to-do list, that's just going to make it less stressful for us, and we're going to be able to get things done sooner.
Right. So why do we need to do this workshop first?
That's a good question, and probably a lot of people out there are wondering the same. We actually had some family members ask us, why are you worried about doing a workshop when you're supposed to be moving your house? That seems backwards.
Isn't that frivolous?
Right. It seems weird. Well, the reason is because 90% of our income as a family comes from our small business, from YouTube channel, and from my other YouTube channel called Samcraft. So basically, self-employment income. Most of what I do and the money I can bring in comes out of a workshop. So in that sense, I look at my workshop not being an accessory building on a property, but more along the lines of being, that's
necessity.
My job when I get there.
Yeah.
When we move, I have a job there ready to go, waiting, that will give us income to live. So it's a different thing to kind of think about, I guess, for some people. But it's something that I thought was a good point that, I mean, they didn't think of, so I'm sure other people wouldn't think of it. And it's a good thing that I want to take a chance to at least explain, you know.
It's not Sam has to have his man cave.
Right.
This is our place of work.
Right. It's not about me, but it's about me. At the same token, that is also why we will move the soap shed. Although that move will coincide with us moving out of our house, because that's where you work. We don't want to build another soap shed. Yours is portable. So that's why we're doing this before the house move.
So the last question you guys may be thinking is, well, when are you going to start this new project? Well, we've kind of already started it.
Yep.
Sam put out a picture the other day of a pile of materials on our driveway. Well, that material pile is a little bit smaller because we have been at work.
Yep, a little smaller, a little more scattered, and there's some stuff in the yard.
It's starting to resemble something. So we have many videos yet to come and lots of fun to do.
Oh yeah, we've already got some in the works. Actually, there's going to be one that'll drop really quick after this, because I've been waiting for us to get the chance to do this video as a connector to the next one. So hang tight. It's all going to hit at once. Well, not really.
Well, hopefully this answers most all of your questions. If it didn't, leave us a question, comment below, and we'll see if we can get to it. And otherwise, we'll see you guys next time on one of the homesteads.
See you guys.
Bye.
Are you okay with me being a half a head taller? It's all on the forehead.
So I will give you.
Who's getting what? I'm going to build it out of, well, wood. What's that, turkey?
It is.
It's a whole
There's
gaggle.
a bunch of them.
So I'm going to be building my workshop. Yeah, man, thoughts.
So what number of workshops does this make?
Well, over the course of our marriage of almost 17 years.
18.
Phooey. Let's do that again. I thought I had it right. I remember the date. I just don't know the years. Okay. Isaac's got a sword and a Nerf gun stuffed down his shirt. You know what would be a cool gift for him? What?
A scabbard?
Sling? Well, yeah, a scabbard.
Or is that what it's called?
I don't know. Some kind of battle gear.